Okay, guys, welcome to a brand new episode of WrestleSlam, the podcast brought to you by Manscaped.com. Do check out the 4.0 package. It's all over the world. It went from 8 million balls to 10 million balls to 12 million balls worldwide. We have that promo code WrestleSlam. Yes, WrestleSlam, our own promo code for all of you lucky fans. So type in WrestleSlam. Upon purchasing, you will get 20% off, which means you can go buy a pizza, buy some fish and chips, get a can of curry, a few cans of Coke, a slab of Dutch Gold. It all helps, So do check out Manscaped.com. I'm joined by Phil, Jur, and Matt for a brand new episode. And yet again, we'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to all our episodes, previous, past, and look in the future. Already, thank you for tuning in. So we do appreciate it. So first of all, Rebel County Wrestling, RCW. Yeah, just happened last weekend gone. The same night Crown Jewel happened. We had a little interval at RCW and the results were kind of floating about what was happening and stuff. But we're going to go right into RCW. RCW. Joe Rush, what was your take? Perhaps the greatest triple threat match we've seen in all of Irish wrestling history happened.
I think all of wrestling. Definitely. Probably in person, definitely the best triple threat match I've ever witnessed in person, if not the best triple threat match I've ever seen, TV or not. Like, the show overall was a hell of a fucking night for them. Like, to come back, everybody thought wrestling was gone in Cork for a while. We didn't know when it was going to come back. So thankfully, Billy decided to bring it back as soon as he did, and fuck me, they put on some hell of a show. And they were out there to prove a point, like, that this is needed. Cork needs that wrestling scene. Like, they proved themselves, that they can go and put on a fucking hell of a show. And like everything was in place. Everything flowed so smoothly. Everything felt, in the right place. It just was one of them, magical nights where everything just went together. And, they ended off with Raven winning the main event. And it was just a perfect way to bring wrestling back to Cork, even though it wasn't gone that long, but it's still nice to have it there just up the road and not have to, drive around the country or fly to fucking Cardiff or America just to watch a wrestling show live.
Yeah, and there was definitely something in the air that night. I was saying it spoke to Billy Bedlam. He texted me and I was like, fucking hell, like this. There was just, the night was perfect. There was something in the air. The atmosphere was incredible. Every single person there was on the same wavelength. And it's you experience that like so many times in life, but you just knew there was something there that night. Like, as you said, the matches were perfecto. Billy Bedlam on the mic was incredible. Justy had us pissing ourselves. I mean, the shit he was saying was fucking iconic. And I mean, he was right next to us. We were lucky. We were right next to Justy and Mr. Armstrong. And we were in fucking stitches. I mean,
yeah.
You hear of great commentators. This was beyond great. Justy needs to, like, I'd like to see him on the network. You know what I mean? Get this man in All Elite Wrestling. He'd give anyone a run for that money. If not, he'd fucking top it. But it was a great card. It just goes to show what we have. In my opinion, I reckon Billy's kicking himself that he's not going to do something before Christmas. It went so well. I'd say he's like, fuck. Yeah. There's a bit of a wait, but look, the wait's
be missing the Christmas bag of cans night. Normally they give out the raffle tickets for Christmas time and.
Oh, that's always
I was talking to you, Mr. Charlie, after the show. Like, I was talking to him about, I was at your Christmas show, and he was like, "It's too early for Christmas." I was like, no, but you always have a Christmas show, like, so. Yeah, that was kind of their Christmas show, even though it was the 1st of November, like. But
yeah, no, it was great. Matt Murphy, we got hurled abuse from some of the fans. We represented our saviors of destiny. We stuck. We showed our allegiance and we followed our Owen, our Anita, and of course, you know what I mean. It's look. It's fair to say we had a great night.
You know what? Those of you who actually booed us, lads, you're missing out. I mean, come on now. You need to feel it. You need to be saved. But
you need to feel it, and don't forget to kiss it.
I fucking knew you were going to say that.
I missed it, by the way, because I was in stitches.
No, I just saw like Andy like have his hand right in front of us, and I was like, oh wait, I'm part of the saviors. I need to help a fellow savior. And I could have saved his career. He could have had like a near injury in the middle of the match, like. So what can I say? Taking pride of it. So fuck you, Jerry. Anyway, listen. RCW was absolutely amazing. Yeah, it's like you said, Biddy's probably kicking himself that he's not doing a Christmas show, but I'm buzzing to see it's not a wrestling show. This is a tribute because like it was such a great turnout, and I can't stop thinking about that triple threat match. All the matches is good, but anyone who knows me when it comes to wrestling, I easily freak out when I witness a Canadian destroyer, or better, in this case, an Irish destroyer by LJ Cleary. I just can't get that out of my mind. I wish I had my phone on me so I would have captured the moment, but it was just absolutely amazing, man. So I can't wait for the next one. Of course, load up on merch because I don't have enough hats for my big bald head. So the lads got sorted me out, but absolutely amazing. Can't wait for the next one, lads. So RC Dub.
RCW. We have to give a shout out to Andy, Owen, and Anita. Look, they're incredible. Raven Creed, she was back-to-back victories. You know what I mean? Over the opponents were serious. Like there's like Lamford. It was a magical night. And Raven Creed winning the Grand Prix. We had so much happening. The chef, Mr. Charlie, what was in the box? I actually seen Charlie walk down Shandon Street. With the box, which was incredible. That was an insight. So I think it was 3 p.m. that day, or 2 p.m. or 1 p.m. And he was walking down Shandon Street in Cork with the box in his hand. So there was a lot of cars beeping at him, what's happening, Charlie? He's a bit of a local celeb here in Cork. So it was great. And we look forward to the next show in February as well. We'll have more on that in due course before the end of the show. Now, Crown Jewel happening, guys. And it's fair to say Logan Paul was trending, and he was trending for the right reasons. Phil Connolly, what was your thoughts on Logan Paul?
Obviously, he's had the best three matches.
Yeah.
The best three matches someone's ever had, I'd say. He just gets better every match I see him in. It's a shame now that he's injured and we don't know how serious the injury is.
If it's ACL and MCL, like that, they're definitely a year job. Like, you know what I mean? There's definitely they won't put him back in the ring after 6 months or 8 months. That's a good 9, 10, 11 month job. Depends on he's a freak in nature though. WrestleMania
so close as well. You'd be devastated for him really, because they were going to get. I reckon they were going to win the tag belts.
Yeah. Interesting. It's it was fair to say, look, this pay-per-view went down a right treat. Obviously we were watching the highlights and we were getting the feeders while we were at RCW, but look, it was a good pay-per-view.
Yeah, we watched it back the next morning, and we were supposed to just watch the first match, go out to a shop and come back and watch the rest of it, but we got so into it, like we watched pretty much most of the pay-per-view in one go. Couldn't stop watching it. It was, like the last show in Saudi Arabia, it lived up to expectations. They keep getting better, as you say, like, but pretty much all the matches were phenomenal. Like there wasn't a bad match there, really. Like, even Braun and Omos, like, as much as like big men, slow moving around and not much happening. Like, Omos beat the shit out of him, and Braun caught him with a power slam and beat him, and Braun's over, like, regardless of what he does on Twitter, like, in the ring, like in front of people, he was well over in that with that crowd. But overall, like, it was a great pay-per-view.
As well, like, I have to shout out to Karrion Kross, because I always give him a load of shit, but that was his best match he's had. Because I do talk a lot of thing about him, but no, to be fair, now that was a good cage match. Really.
Is it fair to say, look, we know obviously he's like he came back, people want him to kind of shave the head, they don't want the hair, they want Scarlett to be more like, we know the way she's kind of dressing and stuff, people kind of want to see her look that bit more darker and stuff, but do you think he's going to get a big push? Obviously, look, a lot of people were on about the match. Obviously he got defeated by Drew McIntyre. Were you a bit surprised he got defeated?
No, because I think there's someone was saying, was it Triple H has given up on him? Is that true? I saw that.
Sure.
And
he was kind of
was that?
He was kind of protected in the match, even though he lost it like a cage match. Like he crawled out the same time Drew jumped over the top. Like, there was a split second where Drew beat him. Like, He didn't get pinned or submitted or anything like that. So, those kind of matches, you don't, you lose, but you're protected as well. Like most people who lose cage matches like that don't get buried. Like they could have buried him if they were giving up on him. But
and also as well, props to Drew McIntyre, who was really ill. He was really sick, and I don't know how he got through it, but he did.
Was it food poison or was it something else?
You just said that he was ill.
I'd say he was still dying from Sheamus's wedding. They're on the session for 2 days in New York.
The baby Guinnesses, fucking hell, straight down the hatch. And I'd say there's some boys to drink. Imagine getting in a bar fight with Sheamus, Rusev, aka Miro, fucking Cesaro. No, Cesaro's a good guy. I'd say Cesaro would try and break it up. Then he'll probably swing someone around the fucking bar. But imagine getting into a fucking argument. Imagine not knowing who Drew McIntyre is and not knowing who Sheamus is and Miro, and then going over trying to pick a fight. That would be fucking crazy. It lasts 2 seconds. You know what I mean? It's that mad. But as you say, props to Drew McIntyre for getting through that match, and obviously look at great victory over Karrion Kross.
Just the one thing on Karrion Kross, because he tag Nick Aldis on something today. About I'm game if you are or something like that. I saw it on Twitter. Yeah,
there's a bit of back and forth. Sure, they know each other, I suppose, from I suppose the indie scenes too,
It's just Nick, all this shit with Nick.
Well, yeah, it's look, I know he's suspended now by NWA, which I don't think he gives an absolute fuck about, to be honest, because they're in a really bad position. They're not. No one knows what's happening in NWA, and it's unfortunate.
There's a bit of news came out. Was it yesterday? That Billy Corgan pretty much said that the women aren't ready to be on. On TV.
He buried Mickey James as well. Like he apparently treated her like shit. Like even though she put on that fucking all-female fucking pay-per-view there, like,
and it was actually it was one of the pay-per-views a year. It was so good.
Yeah.
They dropped the ball though. There was a momentum there at one stage a couple of months back where we were all talking about it.
Yeah.
Then Alice lost the belt and look, I'm not going to talk shit because I'm not a wrestler, but the guy he lost the belt to, guys, we know that shouldn't have happened. So there's a lot of things, a lot of things. There's
a lot of stuff going on there. Like Tyrus shouldn't be a main eventer. Like Tyrus is close to 50 years of age.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's awful. I read Aldis. We've had him on in the past. I read him. I remember him back in the Gladiator days. I remember him in Impact, seen him in Dublin. He's the full package. He's a guy that looks after himself, and he's a guy that will age very well. He's a kind of guy that.
What age is he?
I'd say 40.
Yeah. Like he's around till he's 50 at least at the top level. So he's looking at another 10 years. Easy, because he's in good shape, a natural athlete, you know what I mean? So I think, like, if I was WWE, I'd go after him. I really would.
NXT needs somebody like him, without a doubt.
I think he can go further than NXT. No, I'm not creating it. I think NXT is fucking awesome, but I think he's good enough to be an Intercontinental Champion. He's that good, you know what I mean? He was brilliant in Impact. He looks brilliant, and he's the full package. So interesting to see what happens with Nick Aldis moving forward, but I don't think he gives an absolute shit that he's suspended right now by NWA. They've done him a favor, in my opinion.
Well, there is talk that Mickey James could end up back in WWE as well.
Yeah, there's room there for like with all this stuff.
Hardcore country gimmick since that got over into a Rumble match, like so.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Speaking of big guys, Brock Lesnar absolutely tarnished and destroyed Bobby Lashley via pinfall, a 6-minute match. Obviously, Bobby got him back after the match. So that was an interesting match. Brock obviously looking $1 million out there for the big payday. Interesting. Damage Control won back the championships, which made no sense that they lost them in the first place. I don't know, was it just to have a title change for Crown Jewel? But rumored to be that there's going to be a couple of changes and a surprise joinee in due course that we believe could be Tegan Knox. Everyone agree Tegan Knox is coming back?
Oh yeah,
I'd say so. War Games, yeah.
And just speaking of War Games, Joe, what did you take of the poster? The poster is fucking beautiful.
Phenomenal, isn't it? The bloodline in front of it. crazy. Obviously they're going to be in a War Games match probably against fucking Sheamus and his crew, and maybe fucking, I don't know, the Uso, or not the New Day maybe, or something.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And just speaking of posters and graphics, Raw and the Triple X, my God. Now, would you accept the old Raw title tron for one night? Just that.
Oh, yeah.
Lap.
100%.
And the music.
Do you think they'll do it?
If they're not going to be in the Manhattan Center, they have to do it.
The Wells Fargo, isn't it? The Wells Fargo Center, yeah.
But I'd love to see the 2,000 entrance.
They should have it. Like, you know. And like
The Raw's War entrance,
yeah.
It's the 30th anniversary, which is iconic. 30 years. That's a big milestone. I read somewhere there on Twitter. There was a guy just posting scenarios on what he'd like to happen, and he was saying, "I'd love to see Jericho come out just for that." Now, I don't know yet again what way the relationship is with All Elite. I don't know. Is it healthy? It's not healthy. But if I was them, I would let Jericho come out just for one little promo on Raw for that 30th birthday. Imagine him coming out with the old Raw entrance.
I think the best you'll get is a video message like he did the last time.
Yeah.
But it would be class.
You never know.
He'll get some pop, you know. But it's just getting back to Crown Jewel, because I've got off the ball a bit there with my logos and posters. Bianca Belair defeated Bayley. A lot of people shocked that Bianca retained. The Usos defeated the Braun and Brutes. Braun obviously beating Omos. The Judgment Day had a great victory over the OC, which was interesting. That's a big outcome there for the lads. Obviously, Damage Control winning back them belts, beating Alexa Bliss and Asuka via pinfall. And we've seen a little thing there with Alexa Bliss when she was doing the promo, the little symbol, and then we've seen the symbol, the kind of the Bray Wyatt symbol in the sky. So there's a lot of stuff happening with Bray Wyatt at the moment as well, which will no doubt kind of shape up nicely in due course as well. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. John Cena, guys. There's talks that John Cena is going to have a match at WrestleMania 39.
Yeah,
pretty much guaranteed at this stage.
Yeah. And Austin is feeling good after the last one. So Matt, what's your take on John Cena if he is to come back for a match next year, WrestleMania 39? I was hoping it'd be Philly when we're all there in WrestleMania 40. But look, is John Cena going to come back? And if he does come back, who's he going to wrestle? What's your take on that?
I can see John Cena definitely coming back, especially for WrestleMania, because I know feel like he kept teasing it for so long. Like, I mean, there's big talks that he was going to face Theory, but the way Theory's at the moment, I don't think we should get our hopes up like so. But I definitely would love to see John Cena compete. He's still young enough. Like, he's still able to win his goal. Like
mid-40s.
Mid-40s, yeah. So even though he has I wouldn't say it's going to be like Dwayne The Rock. Like he will have a busy schedule, but since it's WrestleMania, he will definitely make a bit of commitment. Like as a Stone Cold, I can't see him competing again because it was like a one-off show with Kevin Owens. I can see him coming out like for a huge pop and just stunner Cena, stealing his spotlight and all focus back on him. Like so, definitely see Cena come back.
If it was me, I would have Jake Paul on Austin's podcast and have Jake Paul calling shit about him.
Yeah, I think that's the way for me as well. I think that's what Cena needs. He needs a celeb, you know what I mean? So Jake Paul.
Well, even Jake Paul versus Austin, I mean.
Oh, Austin, sorry, yeah, fuck. But like I think either way, it's a win-win if you have Austin or Cena, the part-timer against the Jake Paul and Logan Paul, you know?
Like Logan Paul can be at WrestleMania in his corner. He doesn't have to be in the match.
Yeah. Well,
Loser
Austin
has to get his name.
Yeah,
like it all depends on Nate Diaz, because Nate Diaz is supposed to be fighting Jake Paul.
I'd stay away from Nate Diaz if I was Jake Paul. That's where he's going to get found out, you know?
Yeah.
Nate Diaz ain't going to throw a fight, lads, and that's the fact.
Oh, we know that.
He's going to slap the shit out of him. But, yeah, it's just, as you say, like, I think when you mentioned Logan Paul and Jake Paul, look, their box office, people buy into it, and look, we all, not these boxing bouts out, to be fair, but look, when it comes to wrestling, Logan Paul has proved us all that he can't do it. He's an entertainer.
Yeah.
And he's not a bad wrestler, lads. We have to agree there. He can really move. So it's just going to be interesting to see what Cena does. If he does wrestle, I think it's fair to say it's going to happen. And look, I think we're going to have a really good Royal Rumble and Survivor Series / War Games. That's going to lead us and open many doors to what's going to come at WrestleMania. Speaking of Raw, we have to mention Austin Theory absolutely hammered. Now, I think that there's going to be a twist. Joe Rush, what's your thoughts on all this?
Yeah, I hope there's a twist for his sake and for everybody's sake. It was a pretty sad ending to a pretty pathetic run with the briefcase. After McMahon put all his hopes in him, was trying to look like he was going to push him to the moon and make him the next fucking John Cena, as we were talking about, but it didn't happen. And now Triple H, now he's not a Vince McMahon guy because he was on NXT for a long time before he went to the main roster under Triple H. So, he's a Triple H NXT alumni if you look at it. But I don't know what's missing from him. Like, he's got the look, he can go. He's great on the mic. Probably needs another few years, and get out of his own ego, and just, as Kevin Owens said to him in that promo a few months ago, he just needs to fucking learn and grow from whatever mistakes he makes.
He needs to be humble.
He does, but this is him being humbled. Yeah. But said that, this is just my theory. Sorry for saying theory, but they didn't show the replay of the pin last night. But if you look closely, Seth Rollins' foot was under the bottom rope when he pinned him. They didn't do it in a replay, but they could end up using that as a way of getting the briefcase back on him, again, saying it was a legal pin. And sometimes to do that, he shouldn't have been pinned at all. He was, he's supposed to fucking, the contract stipulation for the Money in the Bank is you get a world title shot. There's nothing about mid cards. It has to be a world title shot within 12 months. In kayfabe, so there's ways of getting out of it if they wanted to turn the scenario around. If they're taking so much shit online about how badly it was done, they could say next week, he's getting the briefcase back because this or whatever. So we'll see what happens next week. That old cliche of seeing what happens.
And it could be the case if they're trying to fucking catch us all, it could be the case of Triple H is so smart that he meant to do this. You know what I mean? And it's the case of, look, something will happen.
Yeah, but if they put the only thing is, sorry, Phil, it's just
no.
If they do put the briefcase back on him next week, is he going to cash in on Roman? Or is he going to fail? So unsuccessfully cash it in either way. So that's the only thing.
Time will tell. SmackDown will be interesting this Friday, and obviously, look, Raw next week will be a very interesting one indeed. But it looks to us that he has been truly fucked about, so we will see what happens. Or is it just a case? The only
thing I'll say is it got wrestling people talking, and that's always good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, that's true. That's true indeed. There was some news earlier on MJF, Phil. Do you want to give us the lowdown on
that? He's been cast in the new Von Erich film. I don't say what role he's going to play, but it'll be interesting to see it. I think it's out next year at some point. Again, this is his end point that he wanted. As he said, he wants to go to the moon in Hollywood.
And he's probably destined for that.
Yeah. Oh, he's some man. He really is. It's
going to be interesting. I think we're all fans. Matt Washer taking MJF. Obviously, look, he's taking fucking All Elite Wrestling by storm. He's the guy that we all love to hate. And now, look, he's making more moves.
I'm just going to say this now. I know I said this about Moxley a few episodes back, but I really think that MJF is holding All Elite together. When he was gone, there was just not much of a bite. I'm a fan of Moxley, and everyone says, he's the best in AEW. But I'm just I think we're all yeah, but he didn't have a fantastic match. He doesn't get people glued. MJF, when he came back, even if they're trying to make him a face or a heel, but still have the heel persona, makes people listen. He obviously clearly knows how to shoot a promo. He knows the audience. He knows how to put them in the palm of their hand, pretty much so. I think we all agree. I think we all said this in the cow at one stage that if MJF doesn't beat Moxley, then it'd be definitely a crime. They should just slap the title on him. That will get more people watching AEW, wouldn't say that it'll actually get them out of the hole that Tony Khan has dug himself out to, that he can't rely on his dad's checkbook to get him out. But I think that MJF is, if they lose MJF, they're losing out big time. Like,
yeah, no, spot on. A few other things that we have to bring up. Nikki Cross, she basically threw the 24/7 title into a trash can. We call it a bin here in Cork, but a trash can. And she's gloating about that. So obviously that could be the end of that belt. It just looks like that's the way it was eliminated. Which was interesting, but look, it's the end of an era for the 24/7 belt. It was all right for the first couple of months. It just went tits up after that as well. So yeah, there's a lot, obviously. Yeah, sorry, belt away.
yeah, I'm just gonna list up probably my favorite moment of the 24 title belt. My favorite moment has to be move on.
Just
and that's
because
and that's a fact.
That's a fact.
just because I know we're running out of time as well, I just wanted to mention two things. This is a very, very big week for wrestling. Eddie Guerrero's anniversary is this week. And the Shield also formed as well. 10 years, Shield. So it's just a fascinating when you look back at things, how quickly time goes by, as Eddie's nearly 20 years, which is really scary.
2005, yeah. So it was like
Yeah.
fucking mental,
18 years ago,
17
yeah.
years.
Jesus Christ. It's surreal. It doesn't feel that long.
No.
But that's a big part of our life. If we all were around 18 years ago, we're all different bookleys, like, you know. We all, you know what I mean, 18 years ago, where fucking, I don't know where I was. I was still in school. School. So yeah, it's crazy. So look, Eddie, as always in our thoughts. And of course, the Shield, 10 years, still babies in the industry as well. Anyone see Rhea Ripley's new T-shirt?
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it. It's pretty cool. But look, I think Rhea Ripley was humbled. We spoke of humbled earlier on. She was humbled last night in Raw.
Yeah, big time. And I was coming. I didn't know how they'd reintroduce Mia Yim, but she deserves a chance.
So is this going to be like a mixed tag match now, where Rhea and Mia are going to be on the same team? Like,
that's Survivor Series, yeah.
They're not going to be in the War Games match. Are they going to be part of this?
No, I think this will be like, you'll see Rhea and Anderson doing that slam. That's why they should have done the slam at this show.
Yeah, they'll do it again though. Or he might fucking he might trigger it. He might reverse it and slam her. That'd be fucking.
But she might get docked. She might get docked this time.
Well, they could have a Survivor Series style, elimination match, 5-on-5, and she could end up pinning Doc Gallows.
yeah, exactly.
Be interesting. She'll have one over him as well. But as you said, there is a lot happening. I suppose, the month of November, December. Irish wrestling is at an all-time high. Look, there's so much happening, which is fantastic. Roman Reigns, I think it's 800 days, guys. Am I right?
Yep.
Yeah. Today.
800 days. Is he going to make 1,000, Joe Rush? That's the question.
I'm going to say yes.
It'd be hard not to go that long. Like, it's never been, done in the modern era. Like 1,000 days. What was it? Fucking Bruno Sammartino and Bob Backlund and Hulk Hogan. Was Hulk Hogan? Did he get 1,000? Over 1,000? One of his runs? I'm not sure.
It was close. Yeah.
Like 2 or 3 people have over 1,000 days. So the way things are going. Like I said earlier in the message, like, he's got 2 titles. He's held one of them for 800 days. The other one he beat Brock for at WrestleMania, so he can keep that other one, lose one of them to whoever give somebody a fucking title, and get the 1,000 days and then lose it whenever.
Yeah. But isn't it mad? Isn't it mad that we have a situation now where, as you say, look, who's going to end the streak? That was something that was spoken for years. And it was Brock. And who's going to beat Roman? That's the trend. And look, yet again, we always mention it in the show. Matt Murphy, who's going to be the man that'll beat Roman for one of the belts or 2 of the belts? Who will do it?
You know what? I'm going to be Mr. Typical. I think 2 comes to mind. Cody Rhodes. I feel like they've been building him up for so long, even when he's injured. They even show vignettes. He's an obvious pick, but I feel like they're just like really pushing him, like really relying on him. Him and Triple H are obviously in peace, obviously. So gonna have to say, I can see Cody Rhodes shocking us after another rivalry with Seth Rollins. That'll actually make the victory more sweeter, having the title still on Roman. But you know what? I'm still holding on hope somehow Sammy might beat him.
Yes,
Ridiculous.
we all want Sammy.
Yeah.
Everyone is
As long as they keep it going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Money in the
They have to
bank at
keep the story.
WrestleMania and then cash
No,
it the next day.
I think because the Paul brothers are injured, I think they're going to revert back to Sammy and KO versus Usos.
That's bad though.
Possible,
I don't like
yeah.
that.
I know, but it's just a backup plan because Logan Paul's injured.
Yeah. No,
It depends how long they plan on keeping the storyline going between Sammy and Jay and the rest of the bloodline. Like, it's money, it's gold. Like, it's just perfect TV every week.
I even saw a tweet how much Jim Cornette loves him.
Yeah.
And I've never seen that.
That's mad.
Was it feeling unsy?
You see.
If you go back and watch El Generico and think this guy is going to be a megastar in like 10, 12 years or whatever it was.
Oh, Sammy's the man.
Mad.
Everyone is like saying that Sammy. One thing I don't get is like everyone says, "Oh, Sammy's been treated like a joke," and like Phil said, when he was El Generico and ROH, he wasn't taking himself seriously. He was just having fun, and that's exactly what he's doing now. Like, so I feel like Sammy, no matter what situation he's in, he still makes it gonna look good. So he's still.
At least like I'm not going to compare him to Owen Hart, but he's the modern day Owen Hart in the ring where he's trying to make people break, like trying to get them all to laugh on camera. Like Owen was, always doing that. He's dropping stink bombs in the ring and trying to put people off when they're doing their promo. So it looks like Sammy's in that boat where he's like, they're trying to make Solo Sikoa laugh on camera. Did you see they didn't actually show him once during that promo where they were trying to break Jay when they mentioned Usi? They didn't want to show Solo laughing, like, so they just kept the camera on Jay.
No, they're priceless. I think it's one of the best things we've seen in recent years, which is good. So yet again, it's been a packed show. We had so much to talk about, but look, we squeeze as much as possible in. We will be back, obviously. There should be a big win show, but look, if not, we'll be back on Tuesday. The show will also go Tuesday night as always, guys. So look, we recorded and we put it straight out. So the show will be out tonight, which is Tuesday. From myself, Jerry, from Phil, from Matt, thank you very much for tuning into WrestleSlam, the podcast brought to you by Manscaped.com. Do check out all the RCW stuff, all the OTT stuff, 5-4 Prac 3. There's so much happening. Hard Knocks. There's just a lot. There's so much happening in the country right now. It's incredible. It's a great time to be alive. So do check it all out. And we'll catch you soon, guys. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Right.